Hi, and welcome along to the Invincible podcast with my man Lee Judges in the building. Show brought to you today by William Hill. And listen, later on, we're going to be giving our picks, right, for the new league. You can win up to 50K.
New league, is it now? You're
new
right,
league, right? Lee, I can't tell you, right, I'm still fuming. I'm absolutely fuming.
Who
right?
did you have?
I was right in it for the 500K.
Yeah,
right?
he was doing really well.
I was like, it was only me and Nikki left, right? And I chose on Monday, right? I chose Everton to beat West Ham. West Ham, bottom of the league. And I always knew it was a little risk because I know Everton, right? But I swear, right? They 1-0 up.
Yeah, he's in.
And they allowed West Ham in the second half to come back, and the game ended up 1-1, and I'm out at the 500K, and I'm still fuming, man. I'm still absolutely fuming. They had bottom of the league.
Yeah. And listen, I thought like West Ham were the better side in the end.
In the second half, they were. And we're going to talk about West Ham later on because obviously we got West Ham this weekend.
So they killed you. Well,
Everton, man. Right?
You've done well to get that far.
I'll tell you, I like Everton as a football club, but on the night, I wanted them to go down. I was like, I want them to get relegated after that, right? For them to get me out of, but I've since softened my stance. I do like the Scousers, I do like Evertonians, right?
Funny.
But I'm still fuming.
It's funny you should say that because I had Manchester City. Remember when they played Spurs? They had Man City home, so I had Man City to go through, and they went out. Tottenham beat them. Oh no, I detested for even more. Not only did you lose to Spurs, you knocked me out of last man standing. And I've got this bug hate now for Manchester City, because they knocked me out of that night. You know what I mean?
Anyway, later on, I'm going to be telling you what our pick is. Remember, final one standing is the game by William Hill. Just explaining the rules again quickly, right? Remember, every week you can only pick one team, right? And that team has to win. And once you pick that team, you can't pick that team again. That's what makes it so. It's such a great
it's a great
game to play.
It's a great game.
So once you pick that team, you can't pick them again. They must win. Right, they can't lose or draw, obviously, or you're out. But the good thing about it is, even though I'm out of the 500K and I'm still screwing, right, I am entered into the new league this week because you can enter the new leagues and the chance to win 50K. And later on, I'm going to be telling you what my pick is. Remember, gamble responsibly. T's and C's apply, and you must be over 18 and based in the UK to play. So later on, you're going to give your pick.
Yeah,
I'm going to give my pick. Right, we'll let you know. But first of all, let's start off by talking about Arsenal. 2-2 now in the Champions League. We were over in Bilbao and saw Arsenal win that one. Now they returned back to home, played Olympiacos, and got off to a great start and ended up in the end winning the game 2-0. However, right, there were some hairy moments in there. Arsenal didn't really take the chances that they had. I was watching back the highlights. We should have been out of sight in that game. But if you don't take your chances, it's a bit like in the Premier League. Don't get that second goal, kill it off. You leave the door open, and they were really knocking on the door. And Raya had to pull off a couple of good saves. But in the end, Lee, it's a perfect start in the Champions League. Can't ask no more.
This has been a good week, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like after Sunday, back that up on Wednesday with I thought a very, very professional job. That's how I look at it. Like I weren't bored. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, it was an entertaining
good
game.
Football,
It was a good football game. I thought we opened them up on many occasions with good football. It weren't just sort of like side to side, then get a free kick or a corner and score, which has been what's been happening, for a little while. But I thought we opened them up really, really well. Martin Odegaard was exciting in midfield. I thought he was really, really good. But this is the thing with the Champions League. You have got to be on your game because I tell you what, I've seen it back now. It is a world-class save from Raya.
Oh, yeah.
It is unbelievable. Yeah. It's a goal. It's a goal. I'm even thinking, pick that one out. Like
I thought at first, like they say, them ones for the cameras.
No, it weren't.
I was like, great save, but one of them ones where you look back at it and think, but you got to. When I look back on it, that is unbelievable. The reflexes.
It's unbelievable. It's a goal. I've looked at it, when in normal watching it, I've gone, oh no, it's a goal. You know what I mean? He ain't saving that. And then I've seen it back today. You know what I mean? Like, it's up there with like the world class. You know, the Ramsdale save at Leicester that time, which was an unbelievable save.
Yeah. I remember that one.
It's up there. It's up there. You know what I mean? Like, and he's producing like Annie Raya. I have to say, like, I think like consistently, he's been brilliant. I
remember. I actually remember back, right? Remember when he came in? There was a certain person, I can't remember his name now, but he was really, really upset. He was slagging off the manager about, you know, why did he bring him in when we got Ramsdale? He was really, really upset. Do you remember that guy?
Nah.
He's such a white
smart
guy, bald head.
You
know, he's got a very,
Listen,
do you know that guy?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and every now and then he likes to be proved wrong, like, you know what I mean. So, and I'm glad that I was.
But to be fair, you weren't the only one. Even me, when he first came in, I was like, why do we need David Raya? We got Aaron Ramsdale, but I've got to say, they got it spot on. He's been brilliant since he's come to Arsenal.
He's actually been
exceptional.
I didn't think he was that great when Aaron Ramsdale was there. So when Aaron left, sort of pressure went off of him like he was the number one then, and he's just gone from on then. It's been unbelievable. And listen, we don't know if Aaron Ramsdale would have improved what he was doing or whatever, like, but. And he made some unbelievable saves for Arsenal. And let's get it right, it was fantastic for Arsenal. Like, but he's just. I think Raya is just like consistently wise has just got better and better. The clean sheets and all that, like, you know. And there was a couple of times yesterday when, and even against Newcastle, they're putting it crosses in and whatever. He just, whether he catches it. There was one yesterday when the ball, when he comes out, catches it. I think he landed on one of our players as well.
Yeah.
He commands the area very well, which gives the defence confidence.
And he's not the biggest, is he, when it comes to goalkeeping? He's not like a Nick Pope or somebody like that who's really a huge goalkeeper, you know, I mean, a Donnarumma or someone like that. But he does command his box, doesn't he?
Yeah, and listen, he's made the odd mistake. But I'll tell you something else what he's done, which, you know, if you go back to Sunday, Nick Pope was outstanding, made some outstanding saves for him, and then he'd give away the ball at the last minute for us to score. Raya's got that, confidence to know when to play, when not to play. You know what I mean? Like, and his distribution is very, very good. But the most impressive thing is, you know what I mean, can he make those world-class saves? When he first came in, I didn't know if he could. Well, he's obviously proved that now, and yesterday proved it. But it's the basics that he does, Robbie, like, you know, the crosses, comes for crosses, you know what I mean? Like, he's very, very good, like, you know what I mean? And look, you don't like to give goalkeepers, I don't never like to give them a goalkeeper man of the match because it looks like you've been under the pump or whatever, like, you know, like Pope was their man of the match on Sunday, but you know, I'll give it to Odegaard. But I don't think he done anything wrong in the game. You know what I mean?
Exceptional, absolutely exceptional.
Yeah.
I mean, you touched on him, Martin Odegaard. How good was he? I mean, you know, I watched back the highlights of the game, right, and like the guy was just running the show. I mean, even during the game, he was just like giving the ball, man. You just enjoy watching players like that. Couple of the passes. I mean, the pass he played through for the Gyökeres chance, which then Martinelli turns in. Beautiful, like he was doing it all night.
He's doing it all night.
But then add on top of that his energy, the way he closes people down, the way he leads from the front. I mean, like, that was the Martin Odegaard that we didn't really see last season following the injuries. He looks like he's getting back to his best. Yeah. Is it because he's now sort of had a season to get over those injuries? Is it because, you know, if you don't perform, there's a guy called Eberechi Eze who can perform in that position, right? And also Ethan Wanieri can come in as well. A lot of competition now, not guaranteed.
100%. 100%, like, you know what I mean? Like, we had a conversation yesterday, like, did he deserve to come straight back in the team, right? On performances and merit? No. If I'll be honest, he didn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Wanieri could be sitting there and going, I think I should be, you know, he's come off twice and I've come on and scored. We've won 5-0 and 3-0 when I've done that. Eze was outstanding at Newcastle. But I think that cameo role I think was nothing short of sensational. I've got to say that.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think people realise how good and how hard that was to do that. To come on in a heat of battle, take the game by the scruff of the neck and say, I'm gonna get us over the line here. And he was sensational. And he backed it up yesterday. And I do believe that he sat there on the treatment table watching what's going on. I've got to up my game. Last season, no one there to challenge him. This season there is, and he was brilliant yesterday. Like, you know what I mean. And all of a sudden now, everybody will be saying like, well, you know, Odegaard's got to play now. You know what I mean? Not necessarily will happen because Eze was very, very good in that role as well. So these are the problems that you've got to bring to the manager. The manager now knows got 3 players that can play that position. When at one stage this time last year we had none. You know, unfortunately Marino's played it a few times, but I ain't done him no favours. And you know, I mean, he played okay yesterday. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was the thing yesterday. I know, like, you know, I agree with Kenya. Like, she was saying, I don't want to see too many changes, but we got this squad now.
Yeah,
there's no.
But there was quite a few changes.
There was quite a few changes
than we thought there was going to be, and
couldn't dare leave Declan Rice out of games last season, Robert. Couldn't dare do it.
Yeah.
But we've left him out. I think that's
Saka.
third. And Saka. That's the third time now. And that's the second time that we've let Declan Rice rested without Saka. We could never have done that last season. You know what I mean? Like, you'd have to have one of them in there. Like, but like the game against Forest, I think that Saka was still out injured and he left him out. And then and last night he just thinks to himself, right, I'll leave. I can afford to leave Declan Rice and Saka out of this team. I think the 2 best players in our football team, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, along
definitely.
with Saliba, like them for Gabriel, we can go on and on. But you know what I'm saying? They're the 2 like talismans of this team, I think. But you can leave them out for a game, Champions League game, still win. It weren't comfortable, but still win, and like be ready for the next game. There's not many teams can do that, Rob. Not many teams can leave out their 2 best players and still get a result.
The squad is looking scary at the moment. Like that squad at the moment, you know, is very, very good. It's the first time we've had this. Over the years, we've said, you know, our squad's not been good enough. You know, we've had a good first 11. Couple of others in, you know, maybe you could get a Trossard on or something, but now in literally every position, that squad, like Ben White was the backup right back last night. That ain't bad. If you've got Ben White, the quality that he possesses, like you said, there's not a lot in it between him and Timber, right? The centre back positions. You know, like I didn't even, Kenya again, you said it yesterday, you know, Mosquera came on, but you could have brought on Calafiori for Gabriel as well, right? You know, Mosquera can cover for Saliba as we've seen him do. On that left-hand side, no Calafiori, but Mars Lewis Skelly, another candidate for man of the match. He was brilliant, right? Showing his qualities in that game, showing what he can do. In the midfield, sorry, you got that Hincapie, ain't even played yet.
Played yet.
Right, you can cover left back, centre back. You've got
and the treatment table.
And the treatment table. Well, we said it yesterday. That's the initiation at Arsenal.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Initiation when you come in at Arsenal, you've got to get injured first, right, before you get to play. Right, that's a new initiation. You don't get up on the table and sing a song. You get injured for a couple of weeks and then you're in. Right.
It's true,
that's the initiation at Arsenal.
Madawuki, he's having his initiation at the moment. Like, they're all done it. Like, you know what I mean? Even Norgard, he didn't even play any.
I reckon, like, it's like, you know, like like, I don't know, back in the day when you like, maybe you might not know about the gang thing, but gang, they beat you in. You know, you join a gang, right? You get all punched up and all that. Maybe that's what's happening, right? At first, right? And then that's your initiation. So you're out injured for a couple of weeks and then you're in. But then in the midfield, Norgard. We haven't even really seen much of him so far, but he can come in. And you've got Zubamendi and Rice who can play in that position. Then you've got, obviously, like you said, Marino, you've got Odegaard, you've got Eze, you've got Wanyeri. Then up front, You got Saka, you got Dalman, you got Wanyeri could even cover that as well. You've got Madueke, who's out injured as well at the moment. You know, when Havertz comes back, you'll have Havertz. There's still Jesus there. I don't know what will happen with him, but Jesus and Gyökeres, and you've got Trossard, you've got Martinelli. Even Saka's playing out on the left.
Played there,
which was an interesting thing to see. It's a squad depth is serious because we've actually had a lot of injuries this season.
And do you know what's the great thing about it? And I was thinking about, like, Ben White is nowhere near fit enough at this moment. He's not quite. But those sort of games give him 60. But a couple of years ago, he would have actually played.
Yeah, he'd have to do the whole 90.
And go 90, nowhere near at the level that he should be, like, do you know what I mean? So what they can do now is go, right, okay, we've got a midweek game against Port Vale, get you a nice 70 minutes there. Now you get another 60 minutes against a little bit higher up with Olympiacos. Then you've got like the international break. You get yourself, we'd be doing some more hard work and all that. So come the game after the international break, which is Fulham, right? He's going to be up and ready, Rob.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so this, that right hand side will strengthen again, like, you know what I mean? Like, so you can alternative leave out Timber, and there isn't no drop off. As you said, like, was there a drop off between Calafiori and Miles Lewis Skelly? No. I thought Miles Lewis Skelly had a fantastic game yesterday.
Yeah. The thing is, right, to win the league,
that's what you got to do.
To do well in the Champions League, to win, you need a good squad, because you'll have a Champions League game during the week. Now we've got a difficult game on the weekend against West Ham, but a lot of those players are fresh, because they haven't really had to play a lot. They've not had to play the whole, So we played at Newcastle, tough game, physical battle, but you could take out a load of the players that played in that game and say, right, sure. It's a good situation to be in. I mean, let's roll back actually. Actually, just before we do that, so it's a good start for Arsenal in the Champions League. 6 points up into that top 8 at the moment. Obviously, a long way to go, but haven't conceded a goal. All right, both of those games were games we were expected to win. But, Spurs were expected to beat Bodo Glimt, you know what I mean? Man City were expected to beat Monaco, you know what I mean? Listen, it's the Champions League. You can slip up. Liverpool expected to beat Galatasaray. So getting those points are so important, especially early on.
And we'll say this, you know what I mean? Why I think we've got a good chance in the Champions League, because it's defensively. You know what I mean? Yeah. Why did Tottenham slip up? Why did Man City slip up? Why have Liverpool slipped up? Because their defences are good, but they're not elite. Yeah. And we've got an elite defence.
Yeah, especially with Saliba signing that new deal.
And it's been a good week, isn't it? It's been a good week.
It has been a very good week.
And we don't look like we're going to concede too many goals. So if you don't concede goals, Rob, you've got a very, very good chance of winning the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and particularly in Europe, it is different. You know what I mean? Like, the pressure is the pressure valve, I think, is a little bit less, because you can afford to draw, still get through.
Earlier on in it, yeah.
You know what I mean? Where in the league you feel like you've got to win every game at the moment. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? And we got like games now where the pressure's on, like, So listen, defensively, Sam, good start. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't realise how when someone said, I think it was on TV yesterday, said, you know what I mean? I think it's how many clean sheets we've got at home in the Champions League at the moment. Like, I haven't conceded in the Champions League for a very long while. So that bodes well. Like, now you've got to back that up in the next one against Atletico, who are on fire at this moment in time. So that'd be a really, really good test.
That's going to be a really tough game, isn't it? Yeah. So and Bayern coming up, and even Bruges have been doing all right as well.
Yeah. So see how they go, see what happens. Yeah. Let's see what can be done. But from my point of view, I look at it and I think, right, we're looking at a solid outfit, like, and as long as that defence carries on doing that, keep working on what we've got up front and everything like that, and you never know.
The experience of last season, getting to the semi-finals, beating teams like Real Madrid will set them in good stead going forward. But I want to spin it back to that Newcastle game. Lee, you know what, right? When I think about that game, that win was so big, because the narrative would have been completely different if we would have lost that game, right? The narrative would have been, yet again, Arsenal have gone away to a really tough place, and they've not won. Even if it was a draw, they've not got the job done. They've not taken advantage of a situation that was put there by Liverpool losing. But it was almost like the perfect weekend for Arsenal. Like a lot of the top rivals lost or faltered. They're going into that game. And for me, I felt that watching that game, that was one of our best performances this season. At a really tough place to go to. Right from the start of the game, we were the team on the front foot. We were dominating. We got the penalty decision, which was shocking. We all discussed it so many times. But the way in which we kept playing our football, dug in, was able again to call on our squad to turn that game around and win it. And now to be only 2 points off Liverpool. And Liverpool this weekend got a tough game. They've got to go away to Chelsea. And we've got a home game against West Ham. I mean, that was a huge, huge win for Arsenal, wasn't it?
Huge win. Not only that, the performance was there for me, Rob. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean,
that's true.
I'll be honest.
Because we've been moaning about performances.
We've been moaning about performances. I don't care. It was a good game. I was speaking to someone yesterday who's a neutral, I dare say he's a Spurs fan, but he turned around and said it was a great game of football. Well, we haven't really had that with us, you know what I mean? People would like to have a little dig about the Stoke FC and all want to have a little digs about what we're doing, all that. But on Sunday, we showed everybody that we can play as well. You know what I mean? Like, and that was the great thing about. Listen, we 1-0 down in that game, and it would have been a travesty if we lost that game, by the way. But it can happen in football, as you know. And I was saying, listen, I'm going to have the ump that we've lost this game, but if we carry on playing like that, we'll be all right. You know what I mean? Like, we've just got to dust ourselves down, and just one of those days where, again, VAR have let us down, and we just have to another proxy decision at Newcastle. We're going to have to just, take our medicine, but move. Don't let it dwell on it. Then all of a sudden, Martin Odegaard comes on, boss, gets the result. And looking back on it, one, it was a great performance. We played some football that was unbelievable. Urge anybody to go back and look at that, the one where Trossard hits the post. The move for that starts with Gyökeres into Saka to Rice, perfect timing to Trossard. Oh, he's hitting the post. But it was a fantastic move. Then we've gone to Newcastle, not an easy place to go. I've actually seen, I watched the Liverpool game, struggled like. Barcelona.
Remember they were down to 10 men.
Down to 10 men. Barcelona went there, and for 25 minutes, they was under all sorts of pressure. You know what I mean? It was a matter of time. Really, Newcastle should have scored and didn't. They never had none of that domination, Newcastle. We got the ball. We took over that, you know what I mean? Anthony Gordon, who run riot in midweek, never got a kick against Timber, never got a kick. We dominated the midfield. Pope's had made two unbelievable saves. We could have scored. That is the one thing that's got to improve, is our finishing. We've not, again, that was evident in the game against Olympiacos. But all in all, fantastic result. And listen, kept a few people quiet.
Yeah.
It's kept a few people quiet, because that was not only a good performance, Rob, it was a one where I was saying we cannot afford to play that well and lose. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. If you play that well, you've got to win games of football, and we did. That was the fantastic thing.
Talk to me about Victor Gyökeres, because on a personal thing, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from Gyökeres, even though he didn't score against Olympiacos, didn't score against Newcastle. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. But I've seen a lot of people criticising him a lot. Where's the goals, this, that. Like, obviously he's under a lot of pressure because of what he's done, at Sporting. I don't know, where are you with him? I'm liking it so far. I mean,
he's how I see it, and his best two performances for Arsenal have been his last two. I think it's been outstanding. I thought he was outstanding up at Newcastle, and I thought he played really well last night as well. Hold up plays a lot better. Every time it went into him, he gets it under control when he plays. He's given us a platform. when he scored goals, his touch has been a little bit off and everything like that. So when he scores goals, everybody goes, oh, his touch is not very good. He's this and that. Then when he don't score goals and his touch is very, very good, oh, he ain't scoring goals. But I watched him yesterday. Carry on doing what you're doing, Victor. Like, he had a couple of shots yesterday, went over the bar, and one went wide, and he's hit the post. He could have had a hat-trick yesterday. Keep doing what you're doing, and the goals will come. I do think there's that little edginess of him at the moment where he's thinking like he's desperate to score.
I think he's trying too hard to
maybe.
There was one occasion in the Olympiacos game, he could have squared the ball, I thought, for Martinelli, but he went for goal. Or do you look on it and say, no, he's a striker? That's what
Bit of that. I look at the one with Saka yesterday. Saka could have put it across to him, and he went for goal and got a little bit lucky with the goalkeeper. But, Saka's one of those players as well, you know what I mean? He's a killer, isn't he? You know what I mean? So, listen, I've got no problems with Gyökeres at this moment in time. And do you know what? I'm sitting here, yes, and I see all the beef.
There was a lot of people moaning about him.
Yeah, moaning about him, and I think to myself, Arsenal are doing well then. Because, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I see a lot of other players, and I don't want to mention them around the leagues at this moment. Isak done absolutely nothing at this moment in time. And why? Why? Because he's not 100% fit. But everybody's saying give him some. Listen, Gyökeres come to us without pre-season. You know what I mean? That's Arsenal's fault by not paying the money. I thought, and I know this sounds silly, I'd like to have a body like him 2-3 weeks ago, but I think he's slimmed a little bit. He looks a little bit more lean, a little bit sharper. So I reckon, he's ready now.
I like him, right? He's very physical, very physical, very aggressive in his play. I love it. Like, you can play a ball up to him. Look at the first goal. Right?
Oh, it's great.
The ball's played into him. He has no right, really. He's got two defenders on him. He muscles his way past them aggressively, gets his shot off. Keeper actually made a good save. If you actually watch it back, it makes a good save. And then obviously Martinelli turns it in. But that goal was like, a lot of that was down to his attributes. And I think with him, just keep doing what you're doing. The goals are going to come. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to get the opportunities. He's going to get it. I just like the fact that you can see he's an out-and-out striker. And somebody else made the point yesterday that the way in which he plays now is bringing into play the wingers a bit more.
100%.
Because he's such a threat down the middle, because you do have to, you've got a lot to handle there. So they were saying that, I think it's Jason, Jason who comes on, he does the fan cams.
Yeah.
He was saying that because you can get the ball up to him quickly and he can hold it up and he can turn and he can think, right? It's now bringing Martinelli into the game more.
Yeah.
When Martinelli's on the pitch, because whereas last season, a lot of time Martinelli's having to wait out wide on the touchline for the ball, and a lot of times that ball's not coming to him. It's always going on to the right-hand side to Saka. Now, because of the fact that you can hit Gyökeres and you can hit him early, he's seeing a lot more of the ball, Martinelli, because the ball's getting up the pitch quicker.
Yeah.
Or he can pick up the loose ball, those loose balls in behind and things like that. It's a great point he made.
Yeah.
He has really proved so far, he has been a real team player, more than sort of being a sort of guy who's been banging in the goals. I've liked what I've seen from Gyökeres so far.
I've liked what I've seen, and also it's a great point. And our wide players all of a sudden are scoring goals.
Yeah.
So there's something in there.
They're even switching wings, like what we saw yesterday. We didn't see that. Is that because you got that focal point of view? Because you can't just leave him one-on-one, can you? You can't. Your two centre-halves have to deal with him.
And the thing with Saka now is he can go on the left and put a cross in, which will maybe help your. I thought that was very interesting why when he went out there, and so it looked to me like we'll get it wide and we can put in a cross straight, instead of cutting inside and putting. So there was something in there. So that is what I liked. But there's nothing better for a midfield player than if you're pinging a ball into the centre forward, like he's the wall, like, you know what I mean, and you've then got the confidence knowing when you hit that pass, you can make the run because you know it's going to stick. If you've not got that confidence, you think, do I run? Do I make that run? Because you're going to lose it. If he loses, I've got to get back. No, I'm making that run because it's going to stick. That if you look at that goal against the one that hits the post with Trossard, the players are moving, Saka's moving because he knows that he's going to stick. and he's gonna get it back. So it also gives the forward players. I think at the end of the day, this is where I do believe that someone like Odegaard's going to get a lot more out of it now, because he can just look at it and go, I can knock it into a little wall pass, knock it, get it back, get in Martinelli, knock it into him, get in a Saka, and then goals will come, like, you know what I mean? So I think that, listen, if he scored 5 goals, people will be going, oh, he should have scored 6. You know what I mean? Like, I do think that, like, you know what I mean? Like, but listen, that's what happens when you're playing at a big club, and he has got a bit of pressure on him.
Yeah, of course.
He has got a bit of pressure on him.
We do need to see more goals.
And listen, I said it yesterday, and I'll be honest, right? I love Martinelli, right? I'm a massive, you know what I mean? Like, massive fan. But I wanted Gyökeres to score that goal instead of him, like yesterday. Like, I wanted it to go in off the post, you know what I mean? Because it's more for him, like, you know what I mean? Martinelli will get his goals, you know what I mean? Like, but listen, I think, you know, a big up to Martinelli as well, because I think started the season well, 2-2 in the Champions League, looking sharp, fantastic goal against Manchester City the week before. Whatever he's doing at the moment, and he again, I've got to emphasise this as what a team player or squad player is, where he sacrifices a lot of his own play for his work rate. He's not in the team at this moment in time, or guaranteed in the team, but his attitude is first class, you know what I mean? He's not sulked, he's come on, doing the business, and all of a sudden now, whether he starts or whether he don't start, he's becoming vital for us. Yeah, getting goals like that. It was an important goal that he got yesterday. I thought he done very, very well yesterday again, and that was no easy finish, by the way, yesterday. Like, you know what I mean? So confidence is getting there with the goals and everything like that. So big up to him. Big up to him. He took a lot of criticism, like, you know what I mean? I don't know where from. You know what I mean? Getting the away fans and all that with the song and all that have been fantastic towards him, like, you know what I mean? Like that must have given him a little bit of confidence. So well done to him as well.
This week, West Ham. Right, and you know, on paper, you know, we look on it and say, yeah, light work. However, West Ham, they've thrown a spanner in the works for Arsenal the last couple of seasons. You know, last year, what was it, 1-0?
1-0.
1-0 shock defeat that was.
Was it 1-0 last year? Or?
And it was the previous year.
2-0 the one before.
Yeah.
Could have been 3-0 when they missed a penalty.
Yeah. I mean, and I watched them play on Monday as a fuming, as I said, because, you know, Everton went 1-0 up. But they were much improved underneath.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, that Somerville looked good. You know what I mean? Full crew. Like, you could see they were different players. Bowen, as we know, is a quality player. Paqueta. They have got some good players. They've just been really, really poor. This is a big game for Arsenal. Another big test of a team that have taken points off of us over the last couple of seasons. A team that we've been expected to win. We have to go out there and be professional, and we need it, because if Arsenal can win that game, as I said, it's a pressurised game for Liverpool. They got Chelsea. That is not going to be an easy, straight after us, away at Stamford Bridge, a place where, you know, they haven't had a lot of success in recent years, Liverpool. This is a big chance for Arsenal to put a lot of pressure on, but you cannot take West Ham for granted. Nuno Espirito Santo, they're improved. How are you feeling?
This game's a tough game for us. Like, West Ham's never going to be easy for us while we've got Declan Rice. Never going to be easy for us, because they want to prove, you know what I mean, like, you've done the wrong thing going to Arsenal. They want to nail it in, like, you know what I mean. And listen, you know how I love Declan. You know exactly how I think as a player. I think he's a wonderful, wonderful player. Attitude, everything. I cannot speak highly enough of him. But when he plays against West Ham, they get to him. And I understand why they get to him, because he's got a lot of feelings there, and he must have been shocked by not the hate, but like, look, listen, it's a compliment that they don't like. They will do when his career's over and all that, but they're hurt that he's gone to Arsenal, so they're going to voice it, and they get at him. And I think
but he's at home, man. Like,
but I think because it's the way in, it's a little bit more, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when he takes a corner, they're giving him so much abuse and all that. Like, you know, listen, it gets to him. Let's be honest, it gets to him, because I've seen him play every single game. He's been outstanding for Arsenal. 9 times, but against West Ham at home at the Emirates, he's had his 2 worst games for Arsenal have been against them. So there's something there. So they're up for it. We're up for it. And I think it's a tough game for that, like, you know what I mean? I don't know how, I'll be really interested in how Declan, I was hoping Declan play yesterday and be rested on Saturday, like, you know what I mean? But he's
rested on Saturday?
Well, like, because I don't know.
I'm backing Declan Rice.
Yeah, I'm backing it. I'm hoping he's going to go right, you know what I mean? Like, because if you look back on it, West Ham have done, you know, we lost the league by 2 points, and that home game against them 2 seasons ago, something to do with that. They've done us again last season, like, you know what I mean? And I do think that their fans are up for it a little bit more because of I think it's tampered a little bit with Kudus going to Spurs. I think, like, you know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden he's not you know what I mean? It's nowhere near as bad as what he's done. Declan. But they're still saying on it, he's got to have a good game, but it's going to be tough.
Listen, Declan, right? Remember these guys, right? What you did for them. Yeah, you won on their first trophy for a very, very long time. Yeah,
remember.
You're captain, fantastic for them, but you don't play for them no more. Don't worry about West Ham. Go, score a goal, run over, knee slide right in front of them.
He never do that. Do you know
right in front of them, Declan.
I'd love him to do that, but he's got so much class.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that.
He's got so much class that he wouldn't do that.
But if they're giving you so much stick.
Well, I would, but he's not. He's got a. Listen, I know
he'd never do that.
I know that he's got a, and this is what really hurts it. He's got a massive, massive affection for West Ham.
But you know what? He needs to get rid of that now, and have that later on, right? Because they don't seem to have much affection for him.
No, I agree.
Right? When we play them, right? Look at, like you said, when he goes over to take a corner.
I agree. It annoys me.
Have that affection for him, Declan. After the game, go stick it on him. Yeah. We need to win this game. This is a massive, massive game. By the way, I said at the start of the show, I was going to give my William Hill pick. That is my William Hill pick.
What, West Ham?
Arsenal to beat West Ham.
I've got it and all. That's my
You got that as well? Arsenal to beat West Ham. So 2 reasons why you must deliver Arsenal, right?
I've gone.
Number one, the most important one, right, is that we need that win, right, to put the pressure on Liverpool. And number 2, well, I'm still fuming from the other day. West Ham was a team that did it by getting that point against Everton. So I need to stick it on them, and I need to go through to the next round on final one standing. As I said right at the start of the show, if you want to get involved, links in the description, scan the QR code. Remember, you pick one team to win every week. If your team loses or draws, you're out. You can only pick that team once, right? And we're paying for the 50k prize pot this weekend. Remember, the first game this week is on Friday at 8 o'clock. So you must get your pick in before then. If you don't get in before then, you won't be able to play.
You can't go in.
Right, so you've got to get your pick in before then. But I've gone for Arsenal to beat West Ham. You've got to be over 18, UK or Ireland only, and T's and C's apply. But come on, Arsenal, right? We need to go through to the next round. But also, we need to get off to a great start. And listen, if Arsenal did win that, regardless of what happens with Liverpool, you'd have to say, Lee, it's been a great start to the season. A couple of weeks ago, it seemed like doom and gloom. But listen, if they were to beat West Ham, they would have gone away to Newcastle, away to Manchester United, first game of the season, away at Liverpool at Anfield, right, and played Man City, right, in their first 7 games. Get beyond this weekend some kind of more favourable. I don't like to. I keep saying
these are the games.
I keep saying I don't like to use the word easy games because there are no easy games in the Premier League, but more favourable games. So after the international break, if we look at our next 5 fixtures after that, Fulham away won't be easy, tough, but winnable.
Yeah. Palace.
Palace at home. At the moment, the way Palace are playing, that's a tough game. But
18 games unbeaten.
Yeah,
that is incredible. Crystal Palace. Well done, Crystal Palace.
It is at home.
Yes.
Burnley away. You'd expect to win that. Right? Sunderland away. Tough. You'd expect to win that. Listen, it's Premier League. Right? Spurs at home. Tough, obviously, but got a good record against them at home. And then the other one is away at Chelsea. So, and then actually, if you then get through that fairly favourably. I think December's not bad because we've had some tough Decembers, but Brentford at home, Villa away, Wolves at home, Everton away, and then just after Christmas, Brighton at home. And then the last game for the year ends Villa at home. So a lot of a chance to go on a run.
A very good run. And how I'm going to take it is month for month, right?
Yeah.
And how I'm doing it. I believe Arsenal, by the next international break in November, right, need to be top of the league by at least 2 points. And I'll tell you why. Because as you say, they're all tough games. Liverpool's running in those games. Is Chelsea away, Manchester United at home, Manchester City away. So in the next 5 games, they've got 3 of them games.
Yeah.
So like they could possibly drop some points. Now, if they win those games, for instance, and we're dropping points to the likes of Fulham, Crystal Palace, or
West Ham,
no good. So you've got to go there and go. And this is where, for me, we go back to Victor Gyökeres. This is where you come into your play. This is why you've been bought. Now, it's those games, West Ham's, Crystal Palace's, Everton's, like in the past, Aston Villa's, that we've dropped points with at home. Those games now, West Ham at home, starting Saturday, is massive where I expect that. We cannot drop points at home against these sort of sides. And that's no disrespect, because that's what's cost us before.
And I know there's the new manager bounce and stuff like that, and it was a much improved performance by West Ham, and we're going to have to watch them on the counter-attack. He had them playing very much like our Forest play on the counter, but there is one Achilles heel, which we saw again on Monday with West Ham, that they've been suffering from all season, and it's their inability to defend set pieces.
Yeah.
They're not been great on set pieces this season.
You're working on now at the moment.
That is our strength. Yeah, he'd be working on it all week, but that's our strength. We got to try and force that home this week. You know what I mean? Like, set pieces could be very, very important for us in that West Ham game. I can imagine a lot of West Ham fans being nervous the first time there's a corner. Declan Rice is going to have an important part to play, and Odegaard and Saka, if they're playing with their set piece delivery. And
on the button, Declan, on the button, right in front of them.
Gyökeres, I don't know what the situation is going to be with Gabriel, if he'll be fit for that game. But, you know, this is a position which we can hurt them from. Expect a lot of long throws in that game as well from us.
I'll tell you what, it was a great point. I think it was Kenyon that mentioned maybe leaving out Gabriel for that game.
West Ham?
No.
Oh, the other, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's picked up a little knock. She was saying, he's come back from a long injury, you know what I mean? So she was right on that, you know what I mean? So maybe, you know, you've gone one game too many. So listen, if he's not playing in that game, like, we've got players to deal with it now.
Yeah,
like, you know
his prowess from set pieces, what we'd miss as well.
Yeah.
Because that really has been their Achilles heel.
It was a massive battle. I don't think everybody realises how physical, mentally and tough Sunday was. And then to go and do what we had to do on Wednesday again. We could have easily dropped points on Wednesday. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what you need to do. So massive game.
Let me get your prediction.
Well, I said 2-0. Well, we all said 2-0 yesterday, and we got that right, didn't we? So I'm going to be bold here and say 3.
Ooh. I don't know. I think I'm going to go 2-0 again. Yeah, I'll go 2-0. I think you'll be. I think I saw West Ham in the second half the other night. They played with a lot of confidence. That was a different West Ham to what we've seen when they played Chelsea. But if always, do you know what the funny thing is? When I really think about it, in a lot of games that they've played this season, they've had spells when they've looked good. Even against Chelsea, they started off that game well. You know what I mean? They've been winning games and thinking, but then their big Achilles heel has been the defending, is particularly from set pieces. Will Nuno be able to improve that in a week? You know, that is where Arsenal really need to ram home their advantage, I feel. Those set pieces, corners, long throws, that I target West Ham because they've been really poor on that so far this season. So I'm going to go 2-0. If we can win 2-0, we could possibly, well, Liverpool play after us, isn't it?
Yes, we'll be top for at least in a couple of hours.
Yeah. Big moment for Arsenal. Could represent an excellent start to the season.
If someone has said to you in the first 6 games, right, when the first season come up, like, potentially you could be top going into the August international break, you'd have bit your hand off. However it's happened, you know what I mean. When we're not happy with the way it happened against Man City, but you'd have bit your hand off, really. Like, so all of a sudden, if we could go, you know what I mean, Chelsea could do something against Liverpool, we could actually be top of the league. And also, if Chelsea actually go and beat Liverpool, like, you know what I mean, that'd be 3 straight defeats with an international break. Let them have a little think about that.
A little bit of doubt, a little bit of doubt. Was you back in Chelsea now?
Nah. I think the best Chelsea can. They ain't got no centre halves for a start. Yeah. You know what I mean? The best I can hope with Chelsea is that they could probably get a draw.
Yeah. Well,
I'd actually like, if Arsenal go to Chelsea on Saturday or Sunday,
I'd fancy us.
Yeah.
Well, listen. First of all, before we even think about that, we need to do our job.
Do our job. That's all this is. Focus on us.
Focus on us. Go and do your job. Big game. Arsenal taking on West Ham at home at the Emirate, as Smarty Warty would say. He'd be back for that, Smarty Marty.
Well, I don't know. He's like, you know what I mean? Ever since he's been hosting and things like that, he's now having holidays. Like, you know what I mean? Like, ain't been away for ages. All of a sudden, he's now, you know what I mean? Like having, you know, so he hasn't messaged us or anything to say that he's having a good time or, you know what I mean, like good luck with the show or anything like that. He's just thought with himself, hasn't he? And gone off.
Gonna have to call. You know what? Maybe it shouldn't be Smarty Marty anymore. I've got a new name for him.
Go on.
Jet 2 Marty.
Jet 2 Marty. Yeah. And listen, he can stay out there. Like since he's gone out there, we've had two great wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, stay out there, Marty. Like, you know what I mean?
Jet 2 Marty should be back next week. Right, so big him up. But listen, big game this weekend. As I said, if you want to get involved with Final One Standing, the link is in the description. Lee, thank you very much.
Enjoyed that.
Look forward to the game at the weekend. Come on, Arsenal, man. Let's keep this going. It's looking good at the moment. The Invincible podcast. Myself, Robbie, and Lee Judges come together once a week to discuss all things Arsenal. Straight talking, considered discussion, brought to you by the fans of the only club in Football League history to go invincible.